Okay, let's just dive right into this. Welcome to today's explainer. We are looking at a truly fantastic, genuinely refreshing approach to intentional growth and practical reskilling. We're going to explore a brand new learning series from the channel Reset with Sakshi, and it is all about how to reset your career with SAS, taking you from absolute scratch all the way to real hands-on projects. If you've ever felt that itch, the need to update your professional toolkit, you are absolutely going to love the structure and the whole philosophy behind this series. So, here's a question that comes up all the time, and it's one this series tackles head on. Is it too late to learn a new technical skill after you've already gotten a degree? Well, the truth is, it's incredibly common for highly educated professionals to just get hit with this huge wave of anxiety when they enter the job market or try to pivot their careers. You might have a bachelor's, a master's, or heck, even a PhD, but suddenly you look around and realize, wait, I might still lack the specific industry tools that employers are actually asking for today. Whether you're a scientist, a migrant trying to rebuild a career in a new place, a woman returning to the workforce, or a professional coming off a career break, that sinking feeling of being somehow behind is totally universal.
But the core philosophy here is incredibly empowering. Listen to this. You can be highly qualified and still be a beginner in a new tool. Reskilling does not erase your previous achievements, it helps you apply them in a new direction. I just love that. It immediately sets this comforting, low-pressure tone. Your academic background, it is entirely valid, and becoming a beginner again in one specific software program absolutely does not take away from all the hard work you've already put into your career.
All right, moving into Section 1, Learning After Your Degree. Let's talk about the reality of the modern professional journey, in that very real gap that exists between university education and industry expectations. You see, completing a degree doesn't mean the learning is suddenly finished, mostly because the job market itself is constantly evolving. A degree gives you an incredible foundation, right? It teaches you how to think, how to research, and how to approach complex problems. But often, university programs just don't teach the specific practical software tools that are actually being used on the ground in the industry. For graduates, researchers transitioning out of academia, or professionals coming back from a break, acquiring these practical tools isn't a step backward. It's simply the necessary next step.
So the crucial thing here is understanding exactly how these two worlds connect. On one side, you've got your academic knowledge, things like statistics, biology, and strong research foundations. On the other side, you've got industry tools like SAS, practical workflows, and specific standards like CDISC that are used in clinical research. Learning an industry tool is the bridge between that academic theory and practical execution. It's literally the bridge that allows you to deploy all your deep knowledge in a real-world, corporate, or clinical environment without diminishing a single one of your past academic achievements.
Okay, Section 2, Why Choose to Learn SAS?
Now, the series is very careful not to present SAS as some sort of magical, guaranteed job ticket, because honestly, no single tool is. Instead, it presents SAS as a highly practical, strategic addition to your existing professional toolkit. We're talking about vast fields of application here. Clinical research and trials, pharmaceuticals, healthcare analytics, biostatistics, and the life sciences. They all heavily rely on it. But it doesn't even stop there. It's also widely utilized in banking, insurance, government, and risk analysis. The versatility is just massive. For professionals looking to transition or upgrade their skills, SAS opens doors across heavily regulated, data-rich industries where structured reporting is absolutely critical.
That brings us to Section 3, Building on Existing Knowledge.
This is where the learning journey offers a ton of reassurance, because taking up SAS does not mean you're starting your professional life from absolute zero. Not at all. Your existing foundation, whether that's advanced Excel skills, programming in R or Python, or a background in bioinformatics, directly complements your new learning. You're basically just taking that logical, analytical mindset you already have and applying it to a new toolkit. SAS syntax, clinical data pipelines, and structured reporting. Trust me, your previous experience with data management or statistics is going to severely accelerate your ability to pick up SAS. And this really brings us to the central emotional beat of the entire series. You are adding a practical tool to your previous education. You are not starting over. It is so easy to feel totally discouraged when you're staring at a blank code editor, but reskilling is a sign of adaptability. It's a highly strategic step forward. You bring your entire history of problem solving right to the keyboard with you.
Which leads us to Section 4, the Hands-on SAS Roadmap. This series isn't just theory floating in the clouds. It shifts focus heavily to the practical side, utilizing a highly structured, step-by-step learning approach.
The whole learning environment is actually centered around a public GitHub repository called Clinical SAS Programming Workshops. And this is a totally job-oriented setup. It features both a fully synthetic Phase 3 study for beginners and a reference workshop using actual CDISC pilot artifacts. This means you aren't just typing out isolated, meaningless lines of code. You're practicing authentically, mapping real clinical documents, and really understanding the lineage of the data.
The curriculum maps out this beautiful progressive learning roadmap. You start with the absolute SAS fundamentals, really understanding your data and proc steps. From there, we move into importing and cleaning data. Then things get really industry-specific with statistical analysis and clinical data workflows, diving deep into CDISC standards like SDTM and ADAM concepts. Finally, you learn how to generate tables, listings, and figures, often called TLFs, and conduct crucial validation and quality control. These incredibly complex concepts are broken down into super manageable bite-sized pieces.
But what makes this roadmap truly special is its laser focus on practical workflows. It emphasizes understanding the SAS log, literally treating the log as a deliverable in itself, and preserving data traceability. This series isn't just trying to teach you syntax, it's teaching you professional clinical programming habits. You actually learn to move from raw source data all the way to final, independent quality control exactly as you would in a real day-to-day job.
Finally, Section 5, Building Your Next Chapter. This brings us to the unique perspective that's going to guide you through all this material. Meet Dr. Sakshi Bharti. What's so refreshing here is exactly how she's positioned. Yeah, she's a PhD scientist and a lifelong learner, but she is not presenting herself as some rigid, untouchable regulatory expert who has just known this stuff forever. Instead, she's your practical companion on this journey. She's actually documenting the practical process of reskilling right alongside you, making the entire experience highly relatable and totally grounded.
And this ties directly into her core philosophy: mindful productivity. The channel is all about promoting gentle resets. It explicitly avoids the overwhelming pressure of endless, passive tutorial consumption or those intense, burnout-inducing boot camps. The goal here is simple: learn one concept at a time, apply it, truly understand it, and only then move forward. It's all about building sustainable, long-term habits. So the whole vibe is captured beautifully in the channel's motto. Here, we reset, refocus, realign, and rise one meaningful step at a time. It's just an incredibly encouraging message designed to inspire confidence and intentional action. It reminds us that career reinvention is a process, and you have full permission to take it step by step. Which leaves us with one final provocative question. Are you ready to build your next chapter with SAS? If this mindful, highly structured approach to reskilling resonates with you at all, I highly recommend following this complete journey, from foundations to real hands-on clinical projects, one meaningful step at a time, on the Reset with Sakshi channel. It proves that no matter your background, your degree, or your past, it is truly never too late to start something new. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep exploring.